So welcome to Four Sistahs podcast, where four uniquely made African American women come together to promote self-love, mental health, and wellness, and sisterhood. We will give you tips on self-care, self-awareness, self-confidence, and show you all the ways you can love yourself. So get ready to laugh, cuss a little, cry, and pray. Hi, guys!
Hi.
So I guess I'll go first. I'm Kay. I'll be doing Kay's Corner. I am a mother of two, been in the mental health field for over 6 years. And hopefully what I have to offer will be something everyone can benefit from.
I will go next. I'm Dani. I am a Gemini. No, seriously. So I have been in the mental health field for 10 years. I am single, sexy, and free. Yes, ma'am. And on top of that, I am going to give you all a little bit of wisdom coming from a single, educated Black woman. Yes, ma'am.
2 snaps to the left.
Hello. Well, since I said hello, this is CiCi, and I am a child of God, okay? And I'm a wife and a mother of 2 little babies, and, well, they're not babies, but anyway. And, you know, I have been in the mental health field for about 11, almost 12 years now, and my little segment is the benediction and a little, you know, glory from God. And, you know, we're just going to get in our little spiritual journey here. Okay. So I'm excited.
We all need it.
Excited.
I guess it's me. So, hey, I'm Sasha. I guess my nickname is Sash Bosh. I've been in the mental health field for
Come through
7 years. I'm random. Also very single. I think I'm pretty funny. And
not in this moment.
Yes, I am. Yeah. I just, you know, just here so I don't get fined.
Lord Jesus.
Well, guys, welcome to Four Sistahs.
So I guess I will start. So my segment is called Rants, Reads, and Resolutions. So I need to record that so I can always get that whoo at the end. So with Rants, Reads, and Resolutions, this segment will shine light on things that are going on in the entertainment world that are in need of desperate resolutions or solutions in general. This segment will take a look at these issues, decide if they are worth saving or just need to go away. We truly feel like this segment was needed because it's important for us to appropriately digest social media, entertainment, and, you know, what's going on in the world. All things are worth our time and energy. Some things are there for entertainment, and some are just for the shock value. So... So with that being said, today my rant goes out to Kim Kardashian. I want to touch on the fact that she is Kim Kardashian. And with that being said, we all know what a Kim Kardashian is. Kim Kardashian is attention-seeking and very starved for fame. So just to give you all a background or a little bit of understanding of where I'm going with this, Kim Kardashian was in the news recently this week because she has posted a series of very nude-esque pictures online, as well as, you know, her quote-unquote Bo Derek braids that look a little similar to braids that I had when I was younger, and I never called them that. So just give you all a heads up. I personally feel like at this point, I don't understand why we even entertain her. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that she's worth saving, or does she just need to drop off the face of the earth?
She's canceled.
Okay.
She's been gone for a while. However, I guess since we're solution focused, what are some words that can help the people?
The solution.
The Kim K's in the world. What do y'all think she needs to do?
Put her
I'm gonna tell you what we need to do. We need to just scroll on past. The best way to deal with somebody cool. Is attention seeking. It's to not give him no attention.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
She's canceled.
But you know what? It's not that easy, and that's something I thought about as I was thinking about this segment. If it was that easy, she would not be on her 98th season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have had 182 spinoffs. They wouldn't have, cosmetic lines and clothing lines and etc. So I feel like something that they're doing does reach a certain audience. I think that the audience that we are don't appreciate it, but the audience that she's actually trying to reach feeds into it. So it's really hard to scroll past when she puts out 68 different nude pictures in the afternoon. Geez Louise, nipples everywhere. But I just feel like at this point, we have to figure out if it would be even worth her going to educational class on what it's like to be Black. Because I feel like she hones in on being Black or the African American culture.
I should have put this in my bio. I'm a fan of minding my business. And I think that what she got going on over there is her business. And what I've got going on over here is mine. And what's going on over there ain't none of my business.
But she is your business because you cannot literally scroll past any entertainment without her.
Girl, I ain't seen a Donald Trump tweet all year. Scroll right on past. Ain't my business.
I think if we were to come up with a solution, I think that just some sort of education, if you want to be us, understand what it's like to be us. Don't be putting out these Instagram posts, these Instagram, PSAs about, you being called, your kid being called the N-word or whatever it was on a plane. Just kind of, learn what it is to be us. Don't put the braids on without knowing the knowledge behind it.
A whole Negro husband and 2 half Negro babies. Why she don't know?
That's why I said the solution could be education.
She don't want to know.
That's true.
But who in her circle does actually have that information? Because it ain't them Haddock twins or whatever their names are. Malika and Masika or whatever their names.
She got a whole crew of Black friends.
Girl.
Hey. I know China taught her some stuff about being Black when they was friends. Because she real Negro.
I don't even think it is about education. I just think it's about whether she chooses to put on the ignorance, because she's got a circle of African American friends. She got people like Lala, and is Lala? Okay.
She's Puerto Rican.
She got people like, Kelly. Kelly is a friend. Is she a friend? I think she's a friend. And I'm questioning all of these. And I just feel like it's her choice. And if she wants to remain blinded, then that's her choice. But I think for us, I do believe, if we don't necessarily subscribe to this Kim K brand, then we just have to just keep moving. And the people that she influences, well, I mean, eventually they're not going to have the circle that she got, because she's got funds for her circle. So, I don't know. I just feel like we can move on. I mean.
Yeah, and you got to look. Her brand was built off
nipples
and being sexy.
Right.
So if she feel like she's not being talked about in the media, that's what she was taught. That's what she knows. That's what she's going to go back to get her name back at the top of the list.
Right.
Matter of fact, you know what? I forgot who said it this week, but somebody said that when she decides that she's going to post a picture or do something, matter of fact, it was Tammy Roman, and she said, what would Beyonce do? That's what Kim needs to ask herself. If you're trying to be a mogul out here in these streets, what would Beyonce do? You never seen Beyonce's nipples.
You won't. But
you never will. Unless it was on that.
No Beyonce brand.
But I think that there's a level of it that she fashions herself to be like the Kim K of the Beyonce world. I don't know how that even sounds, but it makes sense. So, well, I think that we've come to the conclusion that Kim K must fall off the face of the earth into a black abyss,
Not a black
to
one.
never be seen again. Well, a white abyss to never be seen again.
Shout out to her
Armenian
Armenian
abyss.
team, her family. Shout out. Listen, I just think, let's just walk on by. Bye, girl. Bye.
She
Bye.
gone?
Bye.
She gone.
Bye.
All right.
Adios, Felicia.
Ooh, Kimberly. Oh,
Well, maybe our next segment will help her to come to some self-realization about herself.
okay.
So Kay's Corner
Yeah.
will also be referenced as Get Your Life.
Come on. Yeah.
This segment seeks to bring forth some of the necessities that may benefit you on your journey to mental wellness, and most importantly, finding self-love. We can't expect someone else to love us and value us when we haven't figured out self-worth first. Know what you offer before coming to the table and understand that price tag is non-negotiable.
Praise
Everything won't fit you, but what you need, take it and leave the rest. Hopefully each time we speak, you'll add something to your mental wellness kit for the most self-fulfilling life. So our topic today is toxic relationships. I feel like though that was a great segue into like what the reason we started this podcast is to kind of sort of give what we know and raise awareness to certain topics. And toxic relationships being at the beginning of the year, those are hard to break. So I was thinking like what the other day, like when do you like realize you're on the wrong elevator? Or like when do you decide to get off that elevator? Not necessarily wrong elevator. You're supposed to be on the fourth floor. You're supposed to be at a certain position, and you get off the floor and you realize you're actually in the wrong building. So when you think of toxic relationship, there are characteristics, there are vibes that repeatedly reveal themselves. But when do you say abort that mission?
When the judge break us up.
So who's the judge? Are you the judge, or is there an actual judge?
Says he has been sentenced to, but like, well, guys,
wait a minute. Wait.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. Toxic relationships are the devil's way of saying to you that you are not in control, and breaking up or letting go is your way of saying, not today, Satan. Okay, that was it.
You know what? Dani? No. There's some logic to that.
That is.
That is.
I'm not going to say that's the devil, because the devil wants to kill, steal, and destroy. So he was like, yes, be in the relationship. Now, it might be the father. Now, he might be trying to tell you, hey, girl, get your life.
That's true.
And you got
but a lot of the times,
toxic relationship.
But CiCi, listen, a lot of the times we are disobedient until the Lord start whipping up on us, right?
But that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. All that, the toxic relationship does not come from anybody but Satan himself. Because that's what he wants. Did you just say that? It didn't sound like
it. It sounds better from you, girl. Go now.
So, like, when you like dissect and look at the different types of relationships or toxic relationships, it can be your intimate relationship, friendships, jobs. But the biggest one, because I feel like a lot of our values stem from it, is family. Like, we don't know when to let family go or put family in a corner where they need to be so they're not interrupting our bubble.
See, I disagree because my most toxic relationships in life have been personal, like relationships. Family wise, I don't really have issues with that, but like my worst situations have been like work and professional. Work and personal, excuse me.
What about Sash Bosh and CiCi? What have been like your most toxic relationships that you had to, was it intimate friendship? You don't have to go into too much detail, but just what type?
Well, I think Sasha, for me, an assortment of toxic relationships. I've had toxic friendships, I've had toxic relationships, I've had toxic family relationships. Sometimes my relationship with myself can be toxic. You have to just gather myself together. So, I know all about the toxic relationship. You gotta I think you learn from them and you realize what you need, what you don't need, what's good for you, what's not good for you. The best way to learn is to mess up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Agree. I came up with the the scenario that when 1 + 1 = 1, you got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Time to go.
Because the truth to this podcast. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You should have told me that like 10 years ago.
And when 1 + 1 = 16,
okay.
a lot wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Amen.
But yeah, I think that in reality, I think everybody's toxic relationships have stemmed from, a different aspect, like whether it be personal, etc. But I think that just learning the lesson in general is, I think, the one thing I can be happy about. I wasn't happy in that moment, but once I left it and I was able to come back and reflect on it, it definitely helped me a lot more in different relationships, not just parallels.
So that's what people sometimes gotta understand, like acknowledging and understanding the signs when they're presenting themselves. Like if you are waiting to get away from that person, can't wait to get away from that person because of how you feel when you're with that person, it's time to go. Because a lot of the times you internalize all that stuff and then you take that bag into your next relationship, whether it's intimate, friendship, or a job. Like you take it with you as you transition on. So a big piece. So since we're like solution focused, y'all want to hear my DJ? I learned that in college from a friend. It was pretty awesome. It took me a while to get it, but sometimes you really need that background to like.
What was that moment like when y'all were just learning? Like,
it's okay. That's another story. We can have college days type. Yeah, let's not go there today. We probably spent too much time trying to talk about Eric. Literally, that's you just add the C. So some of the warning signs, like that deep sadness, that anger, like always fighting, always feeling like crap when you leave it. Like you can't wait. Like sometimes you like use jobs as an escape, especially if it's like an intimate or like a type of friendship. Like you just want to get to a new environment and then you can't stop thinking about like how toxic that was. Like a lot of times you want to get out of it, but you don't know how. And you're more comfortable and it's scary. Like I think society have put that fear on, like you don't know what's on the other side and the grass isn't like your mom always told you, grass ain't always green on the other side. And you take that and you try to, I think I internalized it a lot and it struck a lot of fear inside of me to like, what if my next relationship isn't as good as this? What if my next job isn't as good as this? Like, am I destined to have like these disasters in my life?
Yeah, I think, you're right when it comes to like the warning signs. Because for me, like a big one is like anxiety. If I'm in a situation and it's like, I'm just super anxious, I'm worried all the time, like, oh, am I doing something right? Or, what does this mean about me? Like, if I'm in my head about a situation, I probably don't need to be in it. If I'm out here, like, if I need to check your phone or if I need to like be like, are you telling me the truth? Like, if I'm asking all these questions, then something ain't right because I ain't even that girl. So, but when you in a toxic relationship, it turns you into a toxic person.
And I think a lot of the times, in my situation, I can say that, you no longer are who you are. Like the person that you know yourself to be, you become somebody completely different, whether it's, super aggressive or super passive or, you become somebody that other people outside of your situation don't care to even be around. And I think that the sad part about it is like you lose yourself in these situations and you spend so much more time trying to get back to like the essence of who you are versus, trying to mend your relationship or, your professional work or etc. In my case, it was personal. But I mean, I never wanted to mend it. It was just trying to get back to the essence of like, okay, now I'm starting over. Who am I? Who am I now, at least?
Ooh, and like another like warning sign too is like kind of that savior mentality, like, I gotta help you, I gotta fix you, like, is also very present in toxic relationships. Even think about like friendships, you meet a person and they're like down on times and you're like, oh, you're cool, I want to help you, I'm your friend. But you gotta know, you gotta be careful when you're starting a relationship or a friendship in that mind space of, I want to help you, I'm trying to fix you, because most of the time you end up in some crazy situations behind trying to be a good person, trying to make sure somebody else is good. And sometimes you have to put that accountability back on that person to like help them all self out and kind of be there on the sidelines, like, you go, you. I think for real, like, yes, you did that today instead of doing it for them, because then that becomes an expectation. I think, like, I don't know who said it, but it's like a quote, and it's like, a true healer is a person that leaves space for you to heal yourself.
Come on with the deepness.
And so. But people don't teach you that. It's like, no, you've got to be nice. You've got to help. You've got to give. You've got to teach. And sometimes the best thing that you can give to a person is encouragement.
Listen, you got to teach the people how to fish. Okay.
Yeah, you can't give them the wallet.
Right. Well, I think. Okay.
Like, what?
I don't. Okay. Okay. No, but I was gonna say, I think Kay touched on something that was important for me, and just thinking about the toxic relationships that I've had to deal with is that sometimes the Carfax, as Dani would say, is correct, and sometimes other people try to tell you like, hey, I'm not quite sure about what's going on in this, but I don't think it's right. And I think for me, I also had the like, oh, I'm giving the person the benefit of the doubt, and especially like in like friendships and whatever. And I just this person is good, but when everybody else was like, nah, man, like this is what they have done to me, be careful. Like I really think you should really heed to those warning signs. Not everybody is a hater. So
hello, and I'm so tired of haters.
That need to be a shirt.
It is, honestly, I feel like people use and overuse the word haters or deriding or whatever it is, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. If I really like Sash and I'm just like, you know what, I can't really deal with Kay, I'm not being a hater. It's just that maybe there's an energy. Maybe there's something, a vibe that I'm getting from her that is just not something I connect with. And maybe I connect with somebody else. It's not being a hater. It's just saying, I do not want your energy in my space, period.
Yeah,
that's true.
I call it the serenity bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, serenity.
Come on.
Because when that is damaged and you can't focus on you can't, like, you're at the top of that totem. Like, if you are not functioning, what else around you is going to start to dysfunction?
All things.
Right. You can't give too much of you to where you don't even know who you are.
Woo. Speak the word.
Somebody said, like, the best way to know that you're in a right situation is just like feeling easeful. Like you should have that serenity bubble and feel good about where you are. And if you're not, if you are you feel a turmoil and hell, probably ain't for you.
Amen.
And I will also step out on faith and say this, and not to spin this around, but even if the sex is good, and I'm just going to throw this out there, even if the sex is good does not mean the relationship is good. I think people get those two things confused a lot. Oh, this is so great, but girl, do you like him? Outside of that, if his penis falls off tomorrow,
They
would
got
you
a
still
word for
like
that.
what is it called?
Stigmatized.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like, you'll be out here paying, your whole refund check come. You done gave him $2,000 to start up his rap career because he's got good peen. And I'm just like, hey, girl, well, what else does he have? Does he have any positive characteristics? Does he take care of his kids? Like what is it?
CiCi, we need to do an altar call for the stigmatized girls out there.
Ooh,
Bow
come
your
on
heads. Bow your
to
heads.
the altar.
Dear
I
God.
always got to start with a song.
Father God, we come before you today.
Come on, Sash.
Girl.
As you guys were talking, that reminded me one day I was sitting in your office and we were talking about how we need to take out the trash sometimes and how we know when to what to separate and when, like the recycle versus regular trash.
Right.
Like Dani was referencing like what does it bring to the relationship that you actually enjoy about it, so you will know like these are the characteristics that I want to continue to seek for, and those are the ones that goes in the recycle, and these are the ones that need to go in the straight trash.
Right.
Like I don't want this in my next relationship. A lot of the times we recycle them all, and we keep taking them to each relationship. Mm-hmm. And now we're the poisons and toxics person, like Sash said.
Yeah. It's okay to write stuff down and journal it and try to figure it out. It's nothing wrong with that. Write your list, okay, and figure out like this is what I like and this is what I. Because sometimes you got to look at it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're like, whoo, child. Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the key pieces that I wanted to add, like being mindfully present with yourself. It's like number one to understanding how toxic situations are. Like, what are they doing to you? Like, what that did, and how did you respond to it?
Kay, can you explain mindfulness to the saints in the back?
For the saints in the back, mindfulness is being present with yourself, like that mind, body, and soul, that spiritual aspect of understanding like what's actually going on and not trying to escape all the time. Do you guys want to add to that?
I think that's a good, understanding of it. I definitely think that when you are present, you are aware of what's going on in this current moment, not what's happened in the past, not what you want to happen in the future. It unbounds you from like the depression of the past and the anxiety of the future. So I think that's being present in the moment, like listening to yourself breathe, seeing what's actually in the room with you, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. What's that word? What's our word? We hate it when we had to accept it, like because of who was given the speech and how it was delivered. Radical acceptance, like that really rubbed us the wrong way when we first heard it. But now that you can actually digest it, though, you got to radically accept stuff before you can be present within yourself and be in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So mindfulness, like a big piece of it, and starting to really understand that is doing the body scan. You guys ever done the body scan before?
Yes.
Where you go from head to toe to figure out where are those warning signs. So when they start to reveal themselves, you can actually put yourself in a space where you can digest it and proceed accordingly. Because if you don't, you're going to actually probably respond impulsively. And most times when we respond impulsively, don't end well. So that's my little nugget to kind of sort of start, and as we go through this journey, through this podcast, to give more nuggets, but mindfulness and starting to understand those warning signs might be a nice piece to digest first.
Cool.
Thank you, KK.
Yeah, KK's Corner. Listen, I'm about to have a whole...
Okay, jingle.
Where'd you say that? Singing that every time.
Okay, moving right along. So my segment is the Sister Circle segment. And so this is just pretty much our weekly girls talk. about some kind of important topic or issue that's impacting us. And so before this podcast, I guess a little backstory about us, that we were all co-workers. And so we used to spend so much time in one of our offices, just talking about all kinds of things. And so for me, they were some of the most healing, but like also the funniest conversations that I've ever had with anybody. And so when we were thinking about segments, we felt it was only right to share these moments with you guys, our listeners. And so sometimes this segment is going to be very lighthearted and comical. Other times it's going to require us to dig deep. But our goal is basically to just provoke thought and kind of challenge you to explore your beliefs too. So since this is our first episode, didn't want to dive in too deep. Miss K kind of took us deep. And I was like, in the spirit of Black History Month, why not do kind of like an icebreaker questions game? So I've got a few questions for y'all that we're all going to answer. Y'all ready?
Yes.
I reckon. I think.
Okay. Buckle up. Question number 1. If you could ban one person from the internet, who would it be?
45.
Okay.
You can just be like me and block them on Twitter. I don't never see his stuff.
40 and the 5, okay?
I told y'all he ain't my business, and I keep it.
You're
right
fired. Listen.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I would go back to, my rants, reasons, resolutions, and say Kim K. Kim K gotta go, honey.
True. She is canceled.
Ain't but so much nipple and butt cheek in the world.
Good night. Good night, Kim.
Well, we already pushed her off the face of the earth anyway, so.
Oh, that's true.
Well, I don't know if I would just ban her altogether, but at least give her some time off and, some self-reflection. I'm gonna go with Rachel.
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, Rachel, she needs some time to self-reflect. She might need to go back up and listen to Miss K's Corner and get some of those mindfulness tips, because I think she lost herself in the midst of trying to help so many.
No,
in her mind,
she Black girl.
She lost herself in the midst of this.
Right there is what you call a personality disorder. But anyway,
She is Black, y'all.
I'm gonna go ahead and cancel Azalea Banks. She is just out here being loud all the time and angry
and wrong.
And again, she just got to mind her business. Mm-hmm. This week she wrote a love letter to her fans.
What fans?
It was the kindest thing I've seen on the internet that she's ever put. And, she loves them for real. But I could do without it. And so I would like, my love, I would like for us to take this moment and
push her back in the closet with them chickens.
Oh, stand with me, my love. Enjoying this effort. Okay.
Go on, Monique. Get your words.
Question number 2. If you were a defense attorney, who would you choose as your client? OJ, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, or Christopher Maurice Brown?
Not Christopher Maurice.
I used to love him in a past life.
Go with OJ. I'm going to take my coins and put them on OJ because I feel like he had enough evidence that would make him remain not guilty. Even though we all know in our heart of our hearts that glove may have not fit, but that does not mean he didn't do that crime. But I think he is the most argumentable case that we have up here, in my opinion.
Pray for that word, girl.
Yeah, I don't think that was it, but I don't think that was a word, but
you're gonna pray for
it. I pray for it.
What she meant.
Sprinkle some glory on it, CiCi. It was coming. I was like, yeah. But OJ, I'm gonna do it for him. The rest of them gonna be a no for me, dog.
I need some clarity before I. Now, which case are we talking about for Maurice? With Christopher Maurice?
You got to take it all, honey. You got to take it all.
Every one of them, all the way
if
back.
You sign up, you can't quit.
You got a case right now for having a monkey. What you gonna do?
No, I'm not taking Chris. I'm gonna have to put him back in a bunch. I'm going to go ahead and take Michael Jackson because
Agreed.
I don't think he did it. And it's not even a stance of I don't think he did it. I think there was enough evidence to show that he did not do it. And I think that some people are vultures and they just want your monies.
True. I'm going to stand with you on the Michael Jackson thing because, okay, put my therapy hat on. So developmentally, I think that Michael stopped aging probably right after I'll Be There. And so when he...
You're so stupid.
Was that the second song now? What the world? So when he was having these sleepovers with these children, he was just hanging out with his peeps.
You right.
He was buying them monkeys and things because he was like, hey, see the canals I have.
He had a whole amusement park at his house. I mean...
Yeah.
And when you're traumatized, we know
when
you're traumatized, you developmentally stop growing.
You stop.
And so I think that, he suffered enough physical abuse. We saw the movies, all of them. Yes. He suffered enough physical abuse to be classified as trauma, which means that developmentally he stopped growing. I mean, it is what it is.
That's another topic for another day, Dani. But that's a topic. It's a word.
It is a word. So I got Michael all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get with Michael because everybody else need to be underneath jail. Anyway, so yeah. Michael could have been saved if he had the right people around him. He could have.
Right.
Bless his heart.
But Kelly might need to be under the jail. Chris real needs some real life help.
Well, he needs some friends.
He needs some help.
Yeah.
He needs some no man.
He need to listen to this toxic relationship segment.
Because I think his stemmed from childhood too. I think his a little deeper prior too, because he witnessed a lot of stuff. Yeah. He witnessed a lot of stuff for his mom going through.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like,
and he got some mental health things going on.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I believe all of them did.
True.
Lord. Sad.
We got all these future topics flowing up through this question. Next question. Which beloved Black artist or group could you do without? So basically, somebody that everybody else love, and you like, I'm gonna pass.
I have a tie. I'm gonna go ahead and jump out off the roof. I'm gonna.
Oh God!
Oh God! But so I'm gonna go with the easy one. K Michelle, Deflategate, deflate a butt. I need her to fall into the abyss as well.
I said beloved.
I think that she has a beautiful voice. I do not take anything away from her voice, but that is not what she wants us to focus on. If you want to be a beautiful voice, just sing, girl. Be quiet. You don't hear Beyonce saying nothing to nobody, and it works.
But I said an artist that people love.
K Michelle,
people love her.
People do really love her.
People love her.
People on Facebook that I see that are fans.
Whose people?
Girl.
Next.
I think I'm going to.
I thought she said you had a tie.
Oh yeah, who's your other one?
Oh, so my other one, and I had to do some praying and some soul searching on this one. And it's not as bad as everybody else thinks it is. But I truly feel as though we have to leave Nicki Minaj in the past. And the reason why I say Nicki, come here, Nicki, let me talk to you. So Nick, I personally feel as though, you've had your fun. And with your fun, I've got a couple bops. But you have been very problematic since you had that chicken wing around your neck. And I didn't appreciate it. Also, I think that she can't get back on. she dropped like 14 singles last year. None of them surfaced. They surfaced, but they did nothing. And Remy Ma put her in the coffin, and we have not seen her since. I don't care how many bundles and how long your weave is, honey. I need to know that you can come back on top. And now that everybody's riding this Cardi B wave, not that I'm saying I'm pitting them against each other, but now that people are on this Cardi B wave, you got to come long and strong. And you have not done either or. Like I said, you gave me some bops back in the day. Lyrically, you were okay. There were some songs that I heard that were straight. But Nicki Minaj, you have to do something to get me back on the bandwagon. And at this point, you are not focused on that. So bye-bye.
Ooh, chair. Okay.
I'm going to give it to Tamar because I feel like when you're in this entertainment world, you got to come with the whole package. And that attitude didn't come with it. Like, I feel like she plays the victim too much and not really digest what she's bringing to the table when
and
she's creating some
I can't even understand what she's saying, so I just
we'll take Tony. And Tamar can go.
No, she can another one in the past
that I don't listen to on purpose. Like, if she's on, it's like, oh, okay, sing, girl. But I mean, I'm not really purchasing any albums. I'm not filling up my Spotify being like, I gotta hear that Tamar track.
Oh, yeah. No.
Ooh. They're gonna roast me.
I'm gonna agree with KK on this about Tamar, because I can't really think of nobody else. I thought about Milli Vanilli, but nobody liked them anyway. What? But blame it on the rain, though? Come on.
That is foolishness.
Jesus, you really dug deep for that one.
I did.
She didn't think about nobody on the top 100.
I mean, she took it back in the vault.
90s.
Hey.
What about you, Sash Bosh?
They really gonna hate me in the streets for this, but so everybody has a thing with this person. And let me preface this by saying I do not dislike their music. I think it's great music. I just don't stand or really go up for them in the way that other people do. And generally when people are talking about them, I'm just silent and like, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. It's Aaliyah. I mean, I don't go up for her the way other people do. And I don't. I'm sorry. R.I.P.
That Aaliyah album, I still play to this day, and I'll probably play it on my way to the thrift store today. You don't know what that album did to my life. I care for you.
Don't know. Okay.
Rock the boat.
I mean, again,
what if, girl?
They were good songs. I liked them, but I mean,
she gave me a whole 4-page letter.
Because she cared about you. I care for you. Hello?
Oh, I used to like that one. What was the one? It was Timberland. Dang it. Oh,
for the Dr. Dolittle track?
Yes.
I used to dance.
Are you that somebody?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I used to do that bop.
But I mean, when people were like, "Oh, the greatest, she was the greatest," and like she would have knocked out Beyonce, I just be,
what now? What?
You said what about Beyonce?
Say what now?
Like, oh, she would have been better than Beyonce, and I just be like,
now listen, now sometimes.
Now here's the one thing I will say about Aaliyah: she was not the strongest vocally.
Nope. You said it, not me.
She definitely would have not allowed Sierra to be in the business.
Oh, duh.
Automatic.
Sierra is barely in the business. Sweet girl. Sweet girl.
Well, somebody can let her go on home then.
Yeah, I don't think she's been bopping since about 2008.
Yeah. Let her go and be the mother and the wife, bless her soul.
She is. Yeah. Okay, what we got next?
Okay, next. You can only keep 2 of these movies. Boys in the Hood, Love and Basketball, Friday, Lean on Me, and The Color Purple.
Well, I'm going to jump out here and say, I'm going to keep Friday and Lean on Me. I feel like they did one things for the culture. They all did, but for me.
I'm going to agree with you and keep Lean on Me because East Side. Like, that song is gold. So I'm going to keep Lean on Me. But I just have a special place in my heart for The Color Purple. So
that movie was 14 and a half hours long. And
nobody cares what you think.
Okay. Well, as long as you know. It was good, but it could have been condensed. That's my
life I had
The Color Purple. Yeah. I'll go ahead and say Friday because that's a movie that I will never live without. I have the VHS and I have the DVD.
Not the VHS, honey.
Yeah, girl, got the VHS, honey, with the yellow box. But so also, because I still got a dual, girl. I got a DVD and a VHS player right in front of me. But so you never can go without. But so I say Friday, and then I mean on a spiritual level, I guess I'm gonna have to give it to Love and Basketball as my second. Because level. Yeah, because you know, when she sang that song at the end when they were playing that song, you
yo, that thing do touch. Made a fool of me. Tell me why.
That song hit me on the spiritual. I think I cried every time that song came on. I even downloaded it.
You be out here soul searching in them little couple of minutes.
You're downloading this song, still will play it. It is a serious thing.
Oh God. Listen, I agree. I think Love and Basketball because I remember when I went on my first group date. I'm old. So I
Not a group date.
I was in high school. And, anyway, yeah, so that was cute. But that and The Color Purple. Don't be laughing.
You better
listen. Tell the people in the back what a group date is.
You know what? No.
All right, my bad. Okay,
and The Color Purple had so many notable quotables.
That's true.
So did Friday. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Everybody still say bye, Felicia.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can I borrow y'all's?
But they don't even know who Felicia is.
It doesn't matter. They still say it.
Moving right along. All right, y'all. This is a tough one. One of these people has to go. Beyonce, Auntie Viola Davis, Harriet Tubman, Michelle Obama, and Oprah.
Bye, Auntie Harriet.
Okay, first of all,
thank you for all you've done.
The way the ladies
thank you. You asked me a question and I answered it. Bye, Harriet. I will look for you again when you're on the $20 bill or the $5 bill.
When she come to you tonight and try to free you from your dreams, don't.
No, I mean, because if you look at this category, you know, I think all those people are relevant right now. I just, you know, I never met Harriet. I don't really know her. She could have been really nice, or she could have been like, you know, a horrible person. Yes, she let people the freedom, but I don't know her. I don't know what her energy was like.
It was a friend energy.
No, she might have. I mean, what happens if I got tired on the way to the freedoms? What would have happened? Would she have cussed me out? Like, what would have? I don't know her energy. I don't know her like that.
I don't understand what's happening.
Oh Lord!
Sometimes I get tired when I walk. Would she have let me sit down?
No, but now come on here.
Okay, ask me a question.
This is hard because I like everybody, but I'm gonna have to go with I don't know. I'm gonna have to leave. Listen, I love you, Michelle. But I think it's just because I don't have the relationship with her that I have with everybody else. Now, she's a wonderful woman.
Michelle,
Don't
who?
get me wrong. Who else is up here? Michelle
I don't know.
Obama.
Girl, better be another Michelle up there.
Obama.
Is Harriet's middle name Michelle?
I'm just trying to say that, you know, without Harriet, probably one of my ancestors might not have been free, and I might not have been here on this earth. So I'm gonna go with
Michelle
her.
help you free your arms, girl.
Stop.
My arms,
bare arms,
huh?
Bare arms in the White House. She gave you bare arms.
Look, I wouldn't have put the bare arms in my White House because you don't want to see none of these arms. But anyway, I just these arms are still fat. But there's nothing against her. But I'm just saying for me, like I love her and she's a great woman.
Do you?
I agree.
I do.
I'm gonna tell you why I am going to let her go.
Who?
Michelle.
Oh, y'all are going to hell.
Are we? Because she is not tied to my salvation. Love her down. But I mean,
Auntie Viola is tied to your salvation.
Realistically,
them tears now.
Realistically, we love her because she was the Black woman in the White House. You know, she represented for us. We know that she was using her coconut oil. She stayed with those edges snatched. You know, she was a representation of a Black mama on a great platform.
So you're proving yourself wrong.
But anybody could have done that.
But that is why everything you just said is why I'm giving up Auntie Viola. Because she could. Harriet can play her. I told you. Harriet Tubman could have played Auntie Viola.
She would have been dead.
Listen.
She was out here a long time ago.
Listen. You got Cicely Tyson.
Girl, they didn't even have a telegraph.
You know,
back then.
Well, you remember when Cicely Tyson was Auntie Viola's mom?
Mama, she gave it.
But Viola brought some tears when her mama had dementia. And it gave her a whole new diagnosis, dementia. Mm-hmm. She stole that.
That's true.
Auntie Viola is necessary for many reasons. She plays every role so expertly. She gives great speeches that make me feel good as a Black woman.
That's why I got Oprah.
She out here changing lives and saving and crying and acting, and she
walked too hard sometimes. I just
Woo.
She brings the thunder, honey. That is why she walks too hard.
Rude.
I thought you said she on kitten heels. I said no, she's playing.
Well, at least we all agree.
Beyonce, Oprah.
Beyonce and Oprah
they gotta
are necessary.
Yeah. They are.
Okay.
Somebody gonna get mad at me for picking Harriet Tubman. I mean Beyonce.
I'm
gonna be okay.
Mad
to see tomorrow.
At you for picking her.
Stay true to you. Stay true to you.
That was the last Black history question of our Sister Circle conversation for today. But you know, I definitely wanted to make sure that me and Kay's segments blended together and give us one serious question about toxic relationships. So, our last question is, what is the most important lesson that you learned from a toxic relationship?
I'm going to go ahead and say, listen to the Carfax. Okay, listen for the signs. Use that discernment, that woman's intuition that you have had it. So I think that that's one of the things that I've learned, to listen.
I'll piggyback off of that and say something I've learned is to be true to who you are and stay focused on you. Never let somebody else or another entity get you away from who you are supposed to be, the essence of you. So,
I'm gonna go with boundaries. You know, my spirit animal, Sarah Jake, said that you get you some boundaries and you get your edges back. And I would say that is true in my life. Like in all kinds of relationships, you just really gotta draw a line in the sand and let people know how you expect them to treat you. You gotta stand for something so you don't fall for nothing.
Word.
This is true. And I will, just to add to the 3 awesomeness. Let me reword that because Dani is going to come for me in a minute. Just to add to the 3 awesome points that we're giving, I would say I've learned not to fight for attention that should have been mine from the start. Like not to lose myself in the midst of chasing after somebody else's attention when I should have been paying attention to myself.
Oh, there you go.
These are some good lessons. Well, thank you, ladies, for stepping into this sister circle moment and sharing your thoughts and ideas with me. What you got for us, Miss CiCi?
Well, guys, you know, all good things must come to an end. And I thoroughly enjoyed this moment. But, you know, right now I just want to send everybody off with a nice word of encouragement and to send everybody off with some peace and joy. So I've got a little sprinkle of glory that I'm going to give to you, the benediction. So it comes from Philippians chapter 4:13. For those who are not versely in the word, that is the Bible. And it states, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. So how do you guys feel like this is helpful?
Ooh, child, I need that today because when I go thrift shopping, I need all of my Jesus because he's going to have to strengthen these legs, these arms. No, I'm just joking. No, seriously. I actually need to put that down somewhere, like on my laptop at work or, you know, on the back of my cell phone. I need to get a case that says that because sometimes I feel like I'm so far away from him that I feel weak. Like you can literally feel weak. And I think that being able to feel his presence and understand that he is there for me and will always walk with me, like the footprints in the sand,
Yes.
old poem. So I think that is something that I need to keep close to me at all times.
Anybody else want?
I would agree. And it ties back into the segment for today. Like, you're going to need that strength to kind of sort of get through that hump in life and that guidance. Like, I feel like for me, I fall back on my spiritual beliefs a lot to add to the actual reality of things as well. And the knowledge that I've gained to help get me to the next level.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. I would say that, you know, life will definitely throw you some curveballs, and it's always great to just come back to that scripture and remind yourself that, like, you can do all of the things.
Not some, yes.
Like, all of them. So it's always helpful to just remind myself of, like, you know what? You got this. Like, my phone background is you got this. Just reminding myself that, like, no matter what's coming, what I'm going through, how hard it may seem, that, like, God's got me. So that's what's up.
Nice. Yeah, and I definitely think that, you know, as women in general and women of color, like, we tend to have a lot of things on our back, and we forget to get that strength up, and sometimes we don't have the people. So what better way to know than that God, if you ask for it, he'll give you the strength. So I think that, you know, that little nugget will take you far. So whatever you're going through in life, no matter what it is or what you want to do, like, just remember that he has the strength for you to be able to do it.
Praise God. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So listen, if all hearts and minds are clear.
All right, then. That's so funny.
Thank you guys for listening to our very first episode of Four Sistahs podcast.
Yay!
Make sure that you're tuning in. Our episodes will be every 2 weeks for right now. You're hearing this a little late. We plan on premiering this episode Valentine's Day weekend, but this weekend is like the first weekend in February, so it may be a little delayed. These topics may not be as relevant, but thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to our first episode of Four Sistahs podcast. Please continue to support us by liking our Facebook page for updates and extras. You can find us on Facebook at Four Sistahs Podcast. That's the number 4, SISTAHS Podcast. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast wherever you're listening. Once again, we really appreciate your support and be on the lookout for our new episode in 2 weeks. We're super excited to be on this road with you all, our new sisters. Bye.